Hey everyone, welcome. Today we'll talk about how a planetary transit can kick a certain nakshatra. Though this planet might be in a particular nakshatra, but it will always have an ability, a tendency to kick certain nakshatra. Now, what does kick is all about? Well, kick is what? It is the expression of our hate or maybe anger or frustration. In Hindi, we call this as the lat. So, kick is a negative expression, which is expressing your anger and happiness about certain thing. So, this particular planet will pour out its anger or frustration on that certain nakshatra. But first of all, what do you mean by the term transit? Well, we know that all the planets around us are in constant motion. They are moving from one constellation to another, one nakshatra to another nakshatra. And this is what we call as transit. Suppose, what is the current transit of planet Saturn? Well, it's transiting from Shravana. So that is what we call as the current transit. Now, every transiting planet will impact a certain nakshatra. It will kick that nakshatra or make it wobble, stumble, or it will create obstruction for that particular lunar mansion. Especially if that kicked nakshatra is your ascendant nakshatra or your moon nakshatra, you will feel more intense effects for that. So, why do we want to know about this kick concept in transits? Well, it will help us to understand the impact of transit in a deep way, and also it will prepare you for the future. It will prepare you for the good and bad. So, that is the purpose of astrology. It helps you to prepare for your future path. If it's challenging, you can recollect a lot of strength and determination to deal with your issues. Now, let's look into how every planet is going to kick a certain nakshatra. Each and every planetary kick will have a different meaning. It will have a different impact. Like when moon will kick a certain nakshatra, it will create mental tensions. If sun kicks a certain nakshatra, it might bring problem from authorities. If Jupiter kicks a certain nakshatra, it might create health issues. If Venus is kicking a certain nakshatra, it might gives problems with respect to your relationships. So, how does this work? Well, Sun kicks a nakshatra which is 12 places ahead of it, the forward movement. Planet Moon kicks the 22nd nakshatra in reverse. Mars kicks the third nakshatra, 3 places away in the forward direction. Mercury kicks the 7th nakshatra in reverse. Jupiter kicks the 6th nakshatra in the forward motion. Venus kicks the 5th nakshatra backwards in reverse. Saturn kicks the 8th nakshatra ahead of it. And Rahu Ketu kicks the 9th nakshatra in reverse direction, in reverse motion. Now suppose moon is transiting from Chitra nakshatra and it will kick a nakshatra which is 22 places away from its current transiting nakshatra. So moon is in Chitra. So let's count 22 places in reverse from Chitra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So if moon is transiting from Chitra Nakshatra, so it will kick the Purva Ashad Nakshatra. Okay. Now suppose Mars is transiting from Dhanishta Nakshatra. So Mars will kick a nakshatra which is 3 places away from the Dhanishta Nakshatra. Remember, we are starting the counting from that nakshatra where our concerned planet is transiting from. So Mars, if transiting from Dhanishta, count 3 places in forward movement. 1, 2, 3. So if Mars is transiting from Dhanashta, it will kick the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now let's take one more example. Suppose Jupiter is transiting from Ashlesha Nakshatra. Now Jupiter kicks a nakshatra which is 6 places ahead from its transiting nakshatra. So if Jupiter is transiting from Ashlesha, let's count 6 places ahead. Remember, only for Moon, Mercury, Venus, Rahu, Ketu, you have to do the backward counting. For rest, all of the planets you have to count in a forward motion. So if Jupiter is in Ashlesha, let's count 6 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if Jupiter is transiting from Ashlesha, it will kick the Chitra Nakshatra. Now, how to use this concept to analyze your transits? Number one, focus on the transiting planet. Which house is ruled by this particular planet and what does that house represents? Number two, now check out the nakshatra which is kicked by your transiting planet. Whether that nakshatra is your ascendant nakshatra, moon nakshatra, or any other natal planet is placed in that nakshatra. But mainly we need to see whether your ascendant or your moon nakshatra is being kicked by a certain transiting planet. When the ascendant nakshatra is being kicked, it might bring difficulties. It might bring physical difficulties, health troubles as well. When the moon nakshatra is being kicked, it might bring mental tensions, it might bring health issues. A lot depend upon which planet is kicking on this particular nakshatra and which nakshatra is your Janma nakshatra and the Lagna nakshatra as well. Now suppose planet Saturn in your natal chart is the 6th lord. What is 6th house all about? It's diseases, obstacles, and planet Saturn is transiting from the Ardhara nakshatra. So it will kick the nakshatra which is 8 places ahead of its own nakshatra, 6 places ahead of the Ardhara nakshatra. So planet Saturn transiting from the Ardhara nakshatra will kick the Hasta nakshatra because it is the 8th nakshatra ahead of Ardhara. So this is how we are going to analyze how a transiting planet will kick a certain nakshatra and how this can impact your future path, your actions, and what you're going to achieve. So guys, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.